family, it's Kesa from Tolee Designs, and I am going to be doing a holiday painting series. Now, what I plan on doing is mixing a whole bunch of different colors together. It's not going to be so much red or red and green or, all those traditional holiday colors. Not to say that I won't be implementing some of them, but I'm not going to just be doing only those only. Now, this is going to be a several part series. So tonight I'm going to start by painting and just giving you a little bit of updates about what's happening with me. And we're going to start there. Now, what you're going to need are some brushes. You're going to need your paint. You're going to need some water. And you need the water simply because you're going to be brushing. You're going to actually be cleaning your brushes in between painting. I always recommend that. You can have some paper towels. You can use paper towels as paint holder. You can put your palette there on the paper towels, or you can use paper towels to also clean your brushes. Now also you're going to need some type of stickers. You're going to need rhinestones if you have them, or you don't need any of those things and you can just absolutely use the resin. But what I want to recommend you using is the resin brushes. I swear by these, y'all, simply because they are amazing at spreading the resin, and not only that, it helps it not to bubble up so much. Then also, these are so easy to clean. Like right now, all I have to do is just take some soap and water or just simple alcohol or peroxide and clean it off, and that'll come right off. But you won't need any of those things right now. By the way, you will also need a glue gun or some glue. And the reason why is that I find that when I use glue, it helps the rhinestones stay in place a little bit better versus me just putting them on there and then spreading the resin. All right, we are going to get started. I have several different canvases I'm going to be using. This is the square one, by the way. Okay. And these are the larger round hoops. I do have smaller ones, but right now I don't have them in front of me, and I'm not going to be working on those. I also have the African map hoops. And then I also have where I just have the African maps without the hoop. Then I also have these right here. And I haven't really decided how I'm going to do these yet. Okay. All right. Let's get started. I think what I want to use right now, because these are the colors that are pointing out in my brain at the moment. And I'm just going to go with that. Now, be mindful, guys. This is not perfection. Why am I saying that? Because we tend to want to start doing projects and we want to make it just perfect. We don't have to do that, because there will be time enough during our painting journey that you will be able to straighten out things and all of that stuff. Now, you can have several size brushes. You can have the bigger ones. This is really good for the broader strokes. I do have ones that are actually bigger than this, y'all, but for this right now, this is going to be just fine. All right, so I'm going to start with some paint. This is aqua. This is the satin acrylic paint. Now you have matted, you have gloss, you have the satin, you have the metallic, and you also have, and I have to look at them, y'all, you have the color shift, and I'll talk to you about color shift a little bit later. Okay, so what we're going to do now, so I'm going to open up this aqua, okay, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the paper towel. guys, have lots of paper towels around if you can. All right. Then I'm going to put it with this yellow because for some reason I'm really feeling that, the yellow. Okay, I'm liking the color combination with that. All right, so I've already done that. Now later on, if I decide I want to add another color in, I will. So I'm going to start with these, and the reason I'm going to start with those because I'm going to do like a color block. If you have not seen any of my painting series, I will try to link them all here where you can go back and see some of those painting series. Okay. All right, we're going to put the light here a little bit more. All right. All right, so I'm going to start off with the aqua. Okay, I'm just going to start painting here. And I'm going to just spread it across. And my goal is just to make it even, y'all. It's not to make it perfect. Although sometimes I tend to stop in the middle of what I'm doing and fix it. It's just a habit of mine. All right. So now what I'm going to wind up doing now is I am just going to wipe the excess paint off of the brush right here. And I am going to just dab it in the water just to clean it off a bit. Because I like the way that this brush is evenly distributing the color. So since I do like that, I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow with this same brush, okay? And you guys can use the same brush or you can, you know, use another brush. It's really up to you, all right? So I'm just going to do that, okay? And we're going to do broad strokes right there. And again, I'm not trying to be perfect because I don't really care about that. That's not the point here. So now I am just going back up to do that little broad stroke right there. All right, so again, I am going to wipe off that paint. And then I am going to apply the next coat, which is below here. And I already love the way that this is turning out already, okay? I can tell you that right now. All right, so we're going to just take that. And I'm going to just do it down a little evenly. And right in here, that was a little tricky there, but I can use this brush to try to kind of just even it out a bit, you know. That's what I love about these particular brushes. They do allow you to do a more even stroke to it. All right, there we go. All right, so there we are. Alrighty, and then I'll just add a little right there. Alrighty, and again, guys, I tend to get caught up and try to make it even. All right, there we are. And we're gonna clean the brush one more time, and it's over on the side, y'all, by the way. Okay, so now I'm going to add in this yellow again. Now, once this dries, I will go back and apply another coat, or I will kind of even out the colors wherever I see that it's misaligned in my eyes. I'll go back and I'll go over it. So right here, for example, I want to try to straighten out that color right there to make it even. So you can line it up and make it even. Okay. Now that is all done. Now the last thing I want to do here is I want to paint this. Now I have a choice in the matter of either color blocking the whole thing, meaning that I can add the yellow and the aqua on to the rim of this, or I can do either or color. And I'm trying to decide on which color I really want to do. I'm not really sure about that. So until I decide what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put that over there and allow that to dry just a tad. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on this side. Now I need to let you know with these African maps, the maps are made almost the same, but they do have some irregularities with them. Sometimes they look like they're the same, but they're not, but they have like maybe a wider brim here or lesser brim there, or wide, basically wide is what I'm trying to say. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. So sometimes you have to compensate, you know. Although the earring is going to look similar, it'll have a little bit of difference to it. All right, so there we go. I'm going to do the same thing like I did on that side. And then what I will do is put it side by side, and I'm going to just see if it's wide enough or it meets in the middle somewhere. Okay, so that is that. I'm going to clean this brush, and I'm going to apply the coat of yellow on there. Now, guys, I just want to let you know, in my painting series, I do take my time. You can wait and binge watch if you want to, or you can just go through the whole process. And if you haven't gotten your painting tools out, you should. I want you to go ahead and think about what you want to paint. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an earring, y'all. It can be an ornament. It can be, you know, another big canvas. Maybe you want to make a picture or something, you know. But just get out your painting instruments and start painting along with me. All right. I don't tend to rush through these series because I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice by rushing through this. And my goal is to not just make a video, but I want to actually sell these. I want to sell these as earrings. Okay. So it did slip out of my hand a little bit, but that's okay. And as you can see, sometimes your brush goes in its own direction. We will fix the color issue in just a moment. Okay. We'll fix all of that. Right now, what you want to do is just open yourself up to being able to paint, you know? You just want to be able to do that. And sometimes you'll color outside the lines. You'll do that. All right, so what we will do, we will clean that water. We'll actually clean the brush with the water. I actually probably need to clean the water, but it's not that foggy yet. So what I'm going to do is right up here, I'm just going to gently cover that, go over that, make it a little bit more yellow where the blue kind of splashed. All right. And then I will go back over it again once it dries. So that's just how simple that was to fix that. Okay, now I'm just painting this part of it because I still have not figured out what color I want the brim yet. And I'm thinking I know what color it is, but you know, sometimes you don't want to be taking risk. But you know what? Actually, you should take risks because that is when you know that you have a very, very good product. Okay. All right. So we have done that. Hopefully you can see it. All right. And I'm going to be kind of moving in. There we go. All righty. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there and I'm going to pick this up. And I am going to look at certain parts of this. Now, I want to remind you all that you guys can put like a top coat on here if you want to. That top coat would be Mosh Posh or some type of coating sealer. I don't normally do that only because I'm going to be using the resin as my sealer and coat. That's how we're going to get the shine, okay? Alrighty. Now, I'm going to go ahead and paint the rim with yellow. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for it being loud. Why not? Okay. Now, my goal here is either to put a sticker on this or to put rhinestones. And who knows, I may be like, let's try both, because that's something I have not done. I have not made an earring where I use both. All right, so we have this hair stuck right there. So we want to hurry up and grab that off. And that comes from the bristle, y'all. Sometimes the bristles aren't that great. So you just have to push it off of there. There we go. And then I will make sure that this color has not been affected by the hair. It's not a hair, but it's a brush hair. All right, the bristle of the brush. Sound like I'm about to say whistle while you work. So here's a little update about what's been going on with me, guys. As you know, and maybe you don't know because you haven't watched all of my videos, but I recently lost my mom at the beginning of the year, and I talk about in depth that I really didn't know if I wanted to continue with my jewelry business. Because when she passed away, something in me died too. And then there was the whole thing about me moving, and I had to change locations city-wise. And then just coming here, learning what it is to be a homeowner, and it's been rough. Because there's been some things that I have to absolutely fix. And I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I don't have a normal job. I do Instacart. And, every month, I'm experiencing different things, All right, that really is really pretty. We're going to let that dry. And then what we're going to do is start on our next canvas. So we're going to just put that over there. Now, I have to come back and do the back. Now, the back is just going to be solid. I'm not going to do, the color coding on the back. It's just going to be a solid color. Now, I know some people, they do not color the back. They don't. Now, as far as resin, I always resin the front. I sometimes resin the back. And you'll know what I mean once we get to that part. Okay, so now I am going to do maybe a camouflage color. I'm gonna play around with some colors, because the point of me painting is to play around with colors. And this is the one time I get to play around with these colors without being judged. All right, let me sometimes the paint doesn't want to come out. It's so weird. Okay, so we'll just dump it out this way. Look, is it coming out? Okay, wow, that was a little bit too much, but it doesn't matter because I'll use it to paint other stuff. Y'all saw that. Sometimes, listen, this stuff be happening for real. Like, I make no promises that things will not do weird things on my channel, okay? And now I'm going to add a little bit of that black in there. You know, I might be trying to get all kind of colors in there. Who knows, y'all? All right, let's hope we don't have the same thing with the problem with the black as we have with the green. So what that means is, guys, I have to clean out the top. If your paint is not coming out, then you have to unclog your top. All right. So I am mixing in the matted paint with the satin. The matted paint is more of a duller type of color, but it works well with the satin. Okay. So what am I going to do here? I don't really know, y'all. So we just going to go on a journey together. I think I'm just going to play around. I think I'm going to play around with all these colors, and we're going to see where we go with this. And those are my favorite kind, where I just play around with the colors and don't care. There's no rhyme, no reason. Just let's go. Okay, that is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And I have not even started, okay? I'm just talking about it's gorgeous. Well, it is in my mind, okay? Hello. That's sometimes all that matters in my mind. All right, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to add that black. Yeah, add that black in there. Go on and get that black in there, girl. Okay, and so then we'll do all of this. And then we will do this. And that's it. Oh, I love that. So I'm just playing around right here. So I'm kind of brushing it upward. Now, I'm not going to try to make it neat because there's no point, because this is going to be like an abstract type of earring. So what color should I use next? I think I'm going to go with this red. I think the red is very appealing here. Ooh wee. Oh yeah, that's nice, y'all. That kind of lined up a little bit nice. So it's sort of like a dial. I'm doing this. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. All right. Now, I have to wash all the brushes off because now I'm going to add some other colors to it. I'm just going to get really creative with it. And I'm just simply washing these brushes off, y'all. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right, so what am I gonna do now? I think on this side, I don't know. I'm thinking I should do red right here. And then add the other colors in there as I kind of layer it a little bit. Okay, let's try the red. Let's go with that. Because, you know, if that comes to my mind, then I know I need to go with it. Just go with it. Okay, so we're kind of going in there. Getting in the lines right there a little bit. Okay. And kind of like neatly spreading it a little bit and going inside the lines a little bit. This is what I call abstract art. And this is going to be an abstract earring, and I think it's going to be quite beautiful. Okay. All right, now we're going to add in some other colors. Now, what color should I add in there? Should it be black? Should it be yellow? Should be this green right here. You know what? Let's take a risk. Okay, let's go on and take that risk. Just take it. Go ahead. It's not going to hurt you. The worst case scenario, it turns out ugly. And you have to do it again. But who cares, right? Because right now all we're doing is painting. Painting makes us happy, doesn't it? Look at that. Actually, that's not too bad. It's abstract, and I think it's really, really beautiful. So I'm just going to go all the way down. Because why not? Why don't we just complicate things some more? Okay, so that's, you know. Now we're drawing boundaries here. So if we're drawing boundaries, then what are we going to put in between the boundaries? I don't know. And most importantly, can we do this again on the next canvas that we're making? All right. So now, let's clean those. I hope you're enjoying this so far. My painting videos will be a little bit longer, guys, because, you know, we're just taking our time in painting. All right, there we go. Look at that. We're going to add in that yellow. Yes, we're going to add in that yellow. That yellow is boss, okay? Yes. Let's give that thing some flavor. Let's give it a little bit of funk. And with this one, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to jazz it up. I don't know if I'm going to use the rhinestones or not, but I'm curious myself to find out how I will finish these. So stay tuned, because I don't even know how I'm going to finish this. But right now, we're just doing even strokes here. We're going to kind of make sure that we're close enough to the edge. And we're, yes, there we go. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. So that is beautiful, okay? That is beautiful. Now, I know you're thinking, you only got one color for the blue and the black. We can definitely fix that, but I don't really know if I want to. I think I'm going to put yellow on the other side just because. And who knows, I might add a little bit of the black in there. I don't know. So many choices, so many choices, so many choices. All right, so I think that the choice will be here. And I'm going to just do broad strokes right here. Okay. Now, how are we going to fix that, y'all? What we going to do? I said, what we gonna do? I don't know, but we get ready to find out what we gonna do. That's for sure. How about them apples? All right, let's see. Why not just make it all difficult for yourself to have to try to figure out what we're gonna do? I don't know. Okay, so I think that what I will do is put this right here. All right, there we go. All righty. Okay. So, choices. Okay. I'm gonna add it up a little bit right up in here. Okay. Now, I know you're like, what did you just do? I don't know. But listen, whatever it is, it's all gravy. Okay, so now I'm going to add that black in there. That'll take care of the extra missing black. Now what I love about the brush is it's allowing me to control where I'm not all over the place, okay? And I will straighten up the areas that need to be straightened up here. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. All right. So I love that. That is so abstract and so beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this to dry. I'm going to go on to the next canvas and we will see how that turns out. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go ahead and see how we're rolling with that. All right. All right. I'm gonna honestly tell y'all, I can't wait for that. That's fire to me, but hey. All right. I will start off with the blue because I think I started off with the blue last time. And we're just going to paint it. Okay, there we go. Get next to it as much as we can. Yep. Okay. And here's the thing, it's handmade, so it's not going to come out exactly the same, but it will come out similar enough, okay? All right, we're going to get that together right there. Yeah, all right. Now we are going to clean the brush. You ought to see this water. It's like a real like green almost. But I will clean that out once I'm done with this project. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for this side. And I'm going to do it this way like it is over here. Alrighty. There we go. Alrighty. And as you can see, the matte comes on. It's a shiny coat, but it's a little duller. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll bring it down a little bit. Alrighty. There we go. There we are. Yeah. Okay. I'm just doing a little bit of I got paint on my arm, on my hand rather. Okay, we'll bring it down just a little bit. Okay, now we're just gonna swipe it in a little bit more, make it a little bit thicker. Okay, now we're getting ready to go for the red now. Let's go for that red. That beautiful red that we all think is so fascinating. Why are we fascinated with red? I don't know, because red is just pretty. Not my favorite color, but hey, I'll roll with it. I will roll with some red. My first sports car was red. And do you know I used to get tickets in that car all the time? I was younger then. I don't know why red got me in so much trouble. Like it just set out like a sore thumb. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do that red over on this side like we did the last time. All right, there we are. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That is simply gorgeous, y'all. Now, I'm going to be doing another painting series. So don't get quite excited for the resin yet. I'm going to do that probably in the next couple of videos. Because what I want to do is to make sure that everything that I have is painted, and all I'm going to do is do the resin. So we're going to be working on colors. We're going to be working on our color palettes, okay? I think our color palettes are necessary, okay? All right, so now we're going to deal with this green right here. We're going to go ahead and deal with the green. And we're going to do it straight down like I did the other one. Okay. And don't be afraid if you mess it up. So what? So what? Because you can always fix it. You can fix it by adding rhinestones on it, or you can fix it by adding a sticker on it. All kinds of things that you can do, okay? So I don't want you to feel like, oh my goodness, I messed it up beyond repair. No. No, 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 no. You can always fix it, okay? Now, I am going to go in with that yellow. And of course, I'm going to fix that over there too, because that needs to be fixed. All right. And like I said before, we don't worry about whether we mess up or not, simply because we can always embellish it a little bit. We can figure it out. You know, it can be figured out. So right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get this yellow, and I'm going to push this. I'm going to actually paint the yellow right here, not push it. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay, and then we brush it over there. Okay. And I love how that just does what it does right there. Okay, so we're gonna make sure that this is nice and neat as possible. Get it close enough to that edge of the red. And I love these type of brushes because, listen, once you get used to your brushes, like the type of brushes that you feel comfortable with controlling, it works out. So all I'm going to do here is that I am going to follow up here, right in there. I'm going to follow up with some more blue. And all I'm going to do is just take it and bring it to the edge. Look at that. Bring it to the edge and bring it right on back. Bring it to the edge and bring it right on back. See that? See how simple that was? And when you get used to your brushes and just painting, it'll come easier and easier to you. Okay? Now, I'm going to clean that off, and now I'm going to finish that little part up and extend the red out a bit. So we're going to extend the red right in there, okay? And then we are going to go to the other side, and we're going to work our little we're going to work something. We'll just put it that way. We're going to work a little bit. All right. So now, here we go with the red. Now, let's go ahead and bring it to the edge, but sweep it back. See that? Just bring it right onto that edge and sweep it back. Then we take the same thing, and then we can take the bristles right here and sort of bring it to the edge and bring it on back. Okay, and we can get in there as close as we need to, y'all. All right, look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that was wonderful. I love when that happens. Doesn't always happen that way, but it does from time to time. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to get a little bit of that black in there. But before we do the black, we're going to add that little bit of yellow in there. Okay. This is so soothing. Now, guys, this is 45 minutes in. So after I finish this little part, I am going to end the video, and I'm going to start up the next one. Now, all right, there we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Hello. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right, so now we've brought that in. And it's not going to be too big on this side, but like I told you, we're not trying to really match it per se. We are, but we aren't. So it's still going to look good. And this is what I call one of a kind. Okay? All right, so let me clean that brush off. And then we're going to get that little black in there, and then we're going to get some of that turquoise in there too. Okay? But I love the way this is rocking and reeling so far, guys. I have to say, no, this is not, it's not perfect. But I don't care about that. I'm looking at how gorgeous this is Like, this is fly. I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now we're going to add that black in there. And then we can fix it a little bit. We can kind of move around. As I said before, I'm not really concerned about that. I am just enjoying the ability to paint. So I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, so we're done. And like I said, we're not too much of a stickler for it being even. That's not the point of this. Okay, but I will add little strokes throughout it to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, and there we are. Simply beautiful. And I know you're like, oh, you only did 2. I don't care. I could do 1. All right. I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned. We are going to continue part 2 of the holiday painting series. See you over there.